tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Topic alert. EA Sports laid out the significant impact that home field advantage could have on the outcome of games in EA Sports College Football 25 during their gameplay deep dive campus huddle today, of course.
Of course.
Audio and in-game modifiers such as blurred routes, incorrect play art, confidence, and composure effects, and screen shaking are some of the immersive impacts away teams and players will be forced to contend with. But not all home field advantages are created equal. The development team worked to compile a list of the top 25 toughest places to play, factoring in historical stats such as home winning percentage, home game attendance, active home winning streaks, team prestige, and more. Rankings are subject to change in future updates.
Whoa.
But you know what EA Sports told you today? You suck, and you're soft.
Your team doesn't matter.
Because Nebraska is not even on here. Not even cracking the top 25 of toughest places to play in the country. 951-1620. Your thoughts?
Why would they do this to us?
I think that's it. I think they hate Nebraska. That could be the only reason. Now, play both sides on this. I think Nebraska win good when they have a big game, when they have a rabid crowd, which they will on September 7th. There's no chance you're leaving Nebraska off of the top 25. There's probably no chance you're leaving Nebraska off of the top 10 of that list. It is as good as any other environment in the country. But that is not the game we're playing, Josh. It is, what are you bringing on a regular basis? What are you bringing every single Saturday you play at home? And for Nebraska, they've found that teams kind of walk into Memorial Stadium and they're not afraid of it. And they beat Nebraska. Most of this is due to the team not being very good.
They do think it's cool to play there, though. Like, oh, what a great venue for college football.
What I have heard,
we'll take our win and go home now.
What I have heard in talking to visiting players about playing at Memorial Stadium is about how unique it is. Where I think it was Connor Cook, or I think it was Connor Cook, the former Michigan State quarterback. I talked to him about this for about 5 to 10 minutes one day at Big Ten Media Days a long time ago, and he was like, one of the weirdest, because he was obviously the quarterback in that 2015 game. Mm-hmm. Everybody says that, 2015 Nebraska, Michigan State, everybody's like, wow, that's one of the best Nebraska environments and best Nebraska wins, probably of the last 10 years, I guess at this point. That the 2016 Oregon game, that gets thrown in there. As far as games that Nebraska played in, competed in, were big games, and then obviously won. I mean, that would be number one or number two, I think, probably over the last 10 years, that game. And he was like, it was so odd because we would go into the huddle and we'd be fine. And it was almost a little bit nerve-wracking when we walked down onto the field and, they were kind of clapping us out onto the field. We weren't being showered with booze. So it was almost like disarming in a way. Went into the huddle and it was fine, and then got out of the huddle and felt like I was in a completely different world. I felt like I was in a completely different place, and the fans are right on top of you, and it's loud and you can't hear, and you're trying to make the calls and everything like that. And there's a consistency to its loudness and stuff like that. And then I think what he mentioned in that conversation too, if I can recall it from like almost 10 years ago now, he talked about the wind and how unique it was from the wind tunnel effect, I guess, that happens in the stadium as well. There's no doubt. When good, Nebraska has one of the best home field advantages in the country, just if we're grading on crowd. But it hasn't been very good lately. Kyle Field, number one.
Number one,
Kyle Field.
The 12th man.
Isn't that interesting? You know what? Last night we'll get into the College World Series here in just a few minutes, but lot of comments about how kind of split the crowd was. I think it was a lot heavier Tennessee last night than it was each of the two previous nights, or day and then night. But even when Texas A&M was like hanging in, and they scored the run to make it a 6-5 game, there wasn't much noise. It was just like, I know. I know how there's no 6-run home runs that are out there for us. We're not going to be able to do this. And you kind of felt that in the stadium last. I thought that was kind of interesting the way their fans were reacting, because they weren't as I was trying to imagine Nebraska fans in that same scenario. You're in College World Series Game 3 final, and yes, you come from down 6-1. At that point, you basically killed the spirit of Texas A&M fans. And I was thinking about what Nebraska fans would do in that scenario, and the answer is they would never quit. They would never give up. They'd be GBRing all over the place. They would still drown out all the Tennessee noise. But then especially in the ninth inning when it gets back to 6-5, I was kind of amazed at how quiet it was as Texas A&M was kind of mounting that comeback last night. Anyway, Kyle Field number 1, Alabama Bryant Denny Stadium number 2, LSU number 3, Ohio State number 4, Georgia 5, Penn State 6, Wisconsin 7, Oklahoma 8, Florida State 9, and Florida 10. Iowa cracks the list, by the way, number 20.
Iowa?
Yeah. It's a good home field advantage. Kinnick at night,
Waving at the hospital?
I think the thing is, like, you have to have a thing. Or especially a big game to show for evidence over the last few years. Like, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That game was memorable because of the environment. Like, all the teams in the top 10 have those, with the possible exception of, Alabama, you don't really think about it that way. LSU has it all the time. I don't know if Wisconsin has much of that recently, but obviously, you have a thing, and it's jump around, and that's talked about way too much, but it does exist.
Many are saying the
what are they saying?
Inclusion of Michigan State seems peculiar.
Michigan State, they're on here? Oh, wow. They are. Number 22. Arkansas, number 23. Boise State, number 24 at Albertson Stadium. And Davis-Wade Stadium and Mississippi State, number 25 with their cowbells. Yeah, Nebraska's better than all those. I'm not outraged about this at all. Please don't put it on the internet that I'm outraged. But, yeah, and Nebraska has better home field advantage than any of those schools, especially at their best.
10-21 against the Big Tens.
10-21 what?
Against the Big Ten.
Against the Big Ten when?
At home.
Since when?
2016.
Wow, where are you getting this stat, Josh?
I'm reading it from Stu Manji. I was going to give him credit.
Stu Manji's got some numbers out there today?
Yeah, he's got some nuggets. Some nuggies.
Sports Information Director Stu Manji?
Yeah, he includes they are 19-26 at home since 2016.
Yeah, it's a football team's not good.
Yeah.
It's a football team's not good. Just wait till the football team's good. Then the crowd will be really good.
Win or lose, we still booze.
Is this true?
I don't know. Tell me, guys.
Josh, I feel like you're just saying things.
Is that bad?
Win or lose, we still booze. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. We get a tweet here from Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Not you.
No relation.
Damn it, I was really hoping to hear Stand Up and Shout.
Many people are making fun of Stand Up and Shout today.
Whoa.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, Big Al says we have Stand Up and Shout. I am team Stand Up and Shout. Josh, put it on the poll. Are you team Stand Up and Shout?
All right.
I'm curious to see where this comes back. We go through some things at the women's basketball games, and the person who plays like the hotkeys, the Stand Up and Shout type of things, or the bells or whatever, sits right next to me. And I told him before the season, I said, listen, anytime you get the chance to do Stand Up and Shout, you rip it. You hear me? I know these people. I know what they react to.
These are my people.
These are my people. They love stand up and shout. I love stand up and shout. And so you want a juiced up PA guy and you want a good crowd, you play those bells or you play stand up and shout. I love stand up and shout. I'm team stand up and shout. Chance says, thank you, Connor. We should be standing up and shouting. People don't like it because it's too, it's self-explanatory. It's giving a direction. But it doesn't have the same effect as like get up and yell. Stand up and shout. I don't even know what that's from. I have no idea. All the things that Nebraska does for like crowd energizing things, like where do they come from?
Amazing Daniel asked in the chat, can someone tell me what stand up and shout is even from?
I have no idea what stand up and shout is from. I need the origin point of stand up and shout. I like how they randomly found the house version of Can You Feel It? Originally a Michael Jackson song, turned it into like, somebody did a dubstep remix of the song or whatever it was, and they just use that for all their things. I think it's unique. I think that's cool. What I do not like is come a running, boys. Don't you hear that noise? I don't like that. I don't care about that.
I think Amazing Daniel nails it here when he says, I hate all those things when we suck. It just irritates me. When we're good, I love all of them, no matter how stupid they are.
I am standing up and shouting when they direct me to stand up and shout. And let's face it, guys, self-scout. Sometimes we need to be told when to stand up and shout.
Apparently,
this is Stibbs.
It is from the 2001 quote-unquote hit movie, Rockstar, starring Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston.
Really? I never even heard of that movie. Shocking, I know.
That's because it sucks.
So that's Mark Wahlberg yelling that?
I believe so.
Is that true? Okay. Do I need to go to YouTube? Stand up and shout Mark Wahlberg. Steel Dragon, stand up and shout.
Definitely.
Holy God. That's the voice of Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, he's telling you to stand up and shout.
All right. I did not know this. Now many people are saying it. Chris says stand up and shout is from the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. It's the intro to one of their songs. Fremont Fred said it's from the movie Rockstar. I didn't know this. I had no idea about this. But I am team stand up and shout. I think they should put stand up and shout on the game. It's very unique.
Sounds expensive.
Well, Nebraska could have submitted a whole, bunch of things. And I think they did, but I don't think stand up and shout was one of them. Very sad. Jasker Todd writes in.
Hi, Jasker Todd.
My thoughts on Nebraska home games is that it's becoming similar to Creighton basketball in the sense that the demographics seems like it's getting older. I know at least our section is mostly olds.
Great take.
Olds can get after it. They can't?
They
question, can olds get after it? Put that up there, Josh.
I'm doing it.
Swift says Thunderstruck has sort of been a thing. Maybe if we beat Michigan in 2021, we would have made the list, like the light show. Yeah, everybody's doing a light show. Everybody's got the lights that flicker on and off and stuff like. By the way,
have you heard it's easy to do that?
Yeah,
now?
I know. I don't really like that. I like the lighting of the stadium. The lighting of the stadium is like 100 times better than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And it's because of those, like, it's just brighter now. It's a brighter place to play. Mm-hmm. But I don't need to be flipping the lights on and off when a guy scores a touchdown. I think that's kind of stupid.
How else would you know?
Maybe they had Mark Wahlberg come on and say, touchdown!
And remember, after the game, fans, eat at Wahlburgers at your local Hy-Vee.
That's right. That's a great idea. It's out there for them. Anyway, Nebraska should probably be on this list, first of all. And second of all, Josh, whisper into the mic and tell them what they need to do.
Win games.
There you go.
Win big games.
Yeah.
Win marquee games.
Yeah.
Win all the games.
To the poll question, do olds get after it? From the 402, texter writes, as an old, the answer is no.
Good self-scout.
All right. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show.
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
On 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.